Hey, yo, what's poppin'? It's your girl, the homie Sydney, and we are live on the Kickback Sessions with the beautiful Brittany motherfucking B.
What's up? What's the deal?
Sis? What's good?
Hi,
Hey.
beautiful.
How are you?
I'm lit.
You lit right now? You lit, or you just lit off life?
I'm lit off life.
How's life been?
Life has been amazing.
You celebrated a birthday recently, too.
I did celebrate
What's
a
your
birthday.
sign?
I'm an Aries. Aries gang in the house, April 3rd. You know what I'm saying?
I always,
Yes.
Aries are come and go, honestly. You a dope
What you mean
one?
we come and go?
Because some
Wait a minute.
No, I'm just,
Wait
I
a
had to
minute.
keep it. I had to keep it
You stuck
100.
with me. You
We're-
stuck with
we're
me.
fire
I
signs.
can't exactly.
A fire sign, so yes. But Aries just they have a real stubborn, angry streak sometimes, and it can be scary.
Dang.
You don't got one?
I put it in my music.
What's your favorite song you written that's kind of reflected some anger that you felt?
That's reflected some anger.
Yeah, like when you was really mad at somebody. Is
No,
there
I
a
was
song you
really
written?
mad at somebody?
that you
Like one of my own, or like
One of your
just
own
one.
songs first.
One of my own songs, probably this record that I did called "I Don't Love You No More." It's
What was that
pretty
about?
Self-explanatory. It was
like,
about me saying I don't love you
no
anymore.
What he done did.
Child,
It was a lot. It was a lot.
he did. Dude, we gotta go through the list.
We don't gotta go through the list,
Listen.
but in general,
Nah, but yeah, it was one of those things
his
where it
main
was just
flaw.
like the relationship was over, and I was just like, look, it's not me, it's you. And at the end of the day, I gotta let you know, like, I
How
don't
long
even
were
want
y'all
to keep going
dating?
through this. Like 4 years. We were together for a while. No ring, no kids, no house.
And he just
He had
couldn't
to
get it
go.
together. He had to go.
He
He was
couldn't-
like, I'm
he had
going
to go.
here.
He
And
had
he
to
just
go.
don't understand.
Yeah.
Damn, sis.
Yeah.
So growing up in LA, do you agree that dating is hard here?
Yes. So
When you're actually a native.
I'm from Compton, California, born and raised.
Okay, let them
and
know, let
I
them know.
feel like, as a woman in the entertainment industry, it's extremely hard to date because I've always prided myself on not being associated with a man, not being like, oh, that's Brittany B, Jay-Z's girl. Like, nah, I'm Brittany B on my own. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But it's like there are men in the industry that you're like, dang, he fine.
Right.
Dang, and
No,
he looking at me
deadass.
like, dang, she fine.
And it's like, I can't.
And we have this chemistry, whether it be like working relationship, whatever, but it makes it hard because it's not just about the attractiveness. It's about like who your friends are,
Who
where
else
you
know,
were, who
what
else you
parties
know, what
go
parties you go
Who
to. Like,
else in the gang?
exactly, becomes all these external factors that have nothing to do with the real connection between you and the person. So
Have you ever gotten
it's
caught
hard.
up?
What you mean?
I feel like everybody's been a slight caught up in that once. Like, you didn't know they was friends. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, that happened to me before.
feel like that's
I didn't know they
stupid,
was
right? Like-
cousins.
Because they was blood, sis. They was blood.
They was family.
Do they look alike though?
And
They
I was
look
like-
hella different. Do they look like
nah,
cousins,
but
sis?
see, I had met one like a year before I met the other one, so I
Uh-huh.
didn't even know that nigga existed. Like, you feel me?
Facts,
So
fair
you feel me?
game,
So you
fair
can't be
game.
blaming me because
Fair game.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know. And it's like at the end of the day, you didn't know.
Exactly.
You didn't know.
So-
If you didn't know, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
And that's the end of the story, right?
Listen,
I always wondered, being a songwriter like you are, when you're in the studio and you just feel these vibes, like when you're writing with somebody, co-writing with people who share the same energy, what is that experience like when you connect with somebody in the studio like that?
you know what? I've been blessed to always like have had the opportunity to really get in with artists in the studio. Some people, they get placements from like submitting records or submitting tracks. But 90% of my placements have come from actually meeting the artist, connecting with that artist, and working with them ultimately. And so I think that's just the best way.
Yeah.
Because you get to know them. You get to know exactly what they want to talk about, not what they A&R want them to talk about, not what they manager want them to talk about, not what they, you know what I'm saying, everybody else think that they should be coming out with next. They're talking about what's going on in their life. And when you connect with someone like that and, really get an opportunity to hear them, that music speaks more to them.
True.
And then they keep it.
Definitely.
And they put it out.
And then you get that placement.
You
And
get
then
that
I get
placement.
that check.
Right, you get that check.
Period.
But I think it's like it's an amazing thing. I feel really honored to have like worked with some of the people that I've worked with, and
Let
like
them know if they don't know.
I mean, I worked with John Legend, Chrisette Michelle, Problem, I've been in the studio with Ty Dolla $ign before. Of course, Bhad Babie, I've helped develop that amazing artist. About that. Yeah.
Describe how you guys met.
Lord. Okay.
Lord, what was that day, that hour?
That fateful day. So with Bhad Babie, I mean, she's an amazing artist, you know what I mean? That I got an opportunity to meet very early before she, took off. And basically I got a call from the label. I have been writing songs, not like just writing songs in the studio with no artists, like just stacking up, right? And they were loving all the records that I was doing, and there was one particular record that they liked. They thought that might work well for her. And so they called me and was like, hey, we have this brand new artist. She's not signed. Are you interested in working with her? And this goes back to one of my mantras that I tell people in one of my models is always say yes. You never know, like, what's going to happen with that person. So I always say yes. I always show up. So I was like, yeah, I'll work with this person. She didn't have no placement. She didn't have no deals. She didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, she wasn't signed. She wasn't anything. She was a brand new, like, just fresh person. And I was like, sure, I'll take a chance on this person. And the rest is history. I met her. We connected on like some Snapchat stuff. She was like on Snapchat. And I was like, oh, girl, on some filters.
Some filters and shit.
Right, I was like, right, taking little selfies.
What's your filter, by the way?
My filter?
Yeah.
My filter, mine's like that little beauty one with the little lashes. Yes. Listen.
That should be always adding the like fake foundation.
It can use some fake little foundation. Listen.
That's
when baby like send a picture.
No, period.
Listen. He be like send a picture, I'll be like.
Listen. And they don't even know the filter was there. It's one of those secret.
Good lighting and that filter.
You're straight.
Will take you from a 7 to a 20 real quick.
Never a 7 though. Never a 7. We wake up 10s.
No, I wake up out of this world. I don't know what you're talking about. No, just my confidence is on 1,000 right now.
How'd you get your confidence so high?
You know what?
I feel like that's something people always recognize first when they meet you. Like, wow, Brittany B, she knows who the fuck she is.
I'm just sure of myself. Like, you got to be sure of yourself. You got to love yourself, man. Like, I spent a lot of years wanting the industry, wanting people to validate me. That shit wasn't going to happen, bro. You got to just make your own way. And you know what I mean? And just feel confident about yourself. So now it's just like, yep, I'm here. I'm myself. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. This is what I have to offer. You know what I mean? This is me giving my all, and I'm happy with that. I'm content with that. Whether I become big as Beyonce or whether I continue to be where I am right now, I'm grateful because I came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just be happy, like, shit.
Talk about how you grew up. Growing up in Compton, California. Describe your everyday life, like middle school. What kind of middle school were you?
I went to Bret Hart off of like 87th and Hoover. I think it's off of 87th and Hoover. Somewhere up in that area, like off of like Hoover. And it was rough. Like, my mom was raising us. My mother, she was battling like with her own substance abuse issues, her own demons. You know what I mean? And I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger brothers. And nobody else in my family does music. Like, just me. So here I am trying to do like talent shows with no bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama ain't come to the town. I'm just up here trying to do talent shows. Right. I'm, trying to be like active in school. And I really loved school. I really did like love it and like loved like sports and stuff like that. So growing up, I was always like super creative, and I clung to music. Like, music was like my motivation all the time, and it made me happy. It was my therapy too. You know what I mean?
You were going to, or
yeah, girl, I was listening to like Lauryn Hill, Brandy, Drew Hill, 112.
Yes.
Monica.
Yes.
I even had the Spice Girls. Girl, I had them thick ass shoes before.
You was trying to be one of them? I mean, I feel like everyone had a phase where they were like,
I was like, yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. Don't tell me what you, I was really like.
It was the moment.
It was a moment.
It was a moment.
Yeah, but that kept me like centered, and it kept me from like, doing drugs. It kept me from joining a gang. It kept me from getting pregnant. It kept me from going to jail. It kept me from a lot of fights. You know what I mean? Because they would try me like, oh, where are you from? And I'd be like, man, I'm a singer. Like I'm not a banger. Like, I'm a singer. You want to hear these notes? Like, you want to hear these bars? Like, I don't want to fight. Like,
so escaping to music though, were you going home to record, or were you just kind of using music as escape to listen to create solace?
I didn't really get into my first studio until I was like 16, 17. Okay. My cousin, yeah, my older cousin, she had a studio with her with her guy at the time, and he had like his own label, and so they kind of like developed me when I was younger, like when I was like 16, 17, and like allowed me to come over and use the studio whenever I wanted to. And I made like an album back then. And it was called,
it was fire too.
It was called, girl.
You thought he was
it was
everything.
Called Coming of Age.
You thought you knew
Don't
everything.
y'all ever Google that shit, okay? It's the
We gonna look for it. Angel gonna look for it on the right.
Lord, it's so. But yeah, it was like
Coming
my
of
first. Yeah, it was like my first like body of work or whatever.
You really felt like at that age you were really coming of age.
Right. Clearly.
You learned you knew everything at that age.
Right. Don't you be? Is you Googling?
Of course we Googling. We
you,
got the
you
Kickback
better not,
Sessions.
because listen.
Listen, we're not gonna play it though, but we gotta just know for context.
Right, but yeah, so that was my
Yes.
first time getting in the studio, and then from there I kind of just like hustled my way. Like I would catch the blue line, catch to the green line, catch to the red line, and get go up to Hollywood and just work with whoever I could work with. And that's how I started making my way, singing at open mics out here.
Oh, yeah.
Singing at like R&B Live. There used to be a spot called Cozy's a long time ago. There was like just different venues, you know what I mean? And like that whole community, Conga Room, back when they used to have Conga Room with Nissan Stewart. That's a long time ago. I feel like I'm telling my age right now. But
you were gonna say that.
But yeah, like that's how I grew up. I just started like doing that and singing around town and meeting people, networking.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember your first placement?
My first major placement. My first major placement was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was a record called Can't Stop featuring Kanye West. It was Kanye West and Theophilus London on the Vibes album. And if you listen to it, it's me singing like I'm singing on the record. I have a record like where my voice and Kanye West's voice and Theophilus' voice is on the same record. It's like
let them know.
Very surreal.
Yes, that was a whole moment.
It was a
you low key
big deal.
downplaying that moment. How'd that feel when you saw your name?
It was crazy because a friend of mine was like, "Yo, you want to like go with me to Theophilus London's like crib and like meet him and work with him?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." There goes that saying yes. Like I'm gonna just say yes and go. And he asked me like, "What you do?" And I was like, "I sing or whatever." And then I started singing. We started coming up with a record and or whatever. And then a couple of weeks like later or whatever, like a month or so later, they were my friend was like, "Yo, that record like made it on his album." And I was like, "That's dope." And he was like, "Yeah, he put Kanye on it." And I was like, "Huh?"
Oh.
I was like, "You
really?
mean like College Dropout? Like you mean like 808 and Heartbreak Kanye?
Like old Kanye.
Right. You mean like for real?" So I was like super excited at the time, and I was working with Compound, Neo's camp at the time, writing with them and like kind of working with them on the management side a little bit. And yeah, that was my first placement that came out.
There, how'd you start getting really into that? And if y'all follow Brittany B, she's always at Warner every day.
Yes.
You're always up in there. So
Yes.
when'd you get signed with Warner?
I work there.
You work there.
I'm an A&R there as well.
Okay, let them put some respect on your name. Give us your whole occupation.
So my name is Brittany B. I'm from Compton, California.
Period.
I'm an A&R producer, songwriter, and an artist. Period.
That's fire.
And I get bags four different ways, and I'm very proud of it.
Yes.
So and I say that to not be cocky. I say it to inspire people. You know what I mean? Like
you can really make so much out of your career.
Yeah. And you can make so much money like in the music industry from so many different ways and so many different capacities. And just me being flexible in my life and just like even when I doubt myself or I feel like I'm not confident to do the job, I just say, you know what, I can do this job. I can learn on the go. I can learn on my toes. You know what I mean? That has like helped me like get everything that I've like received, all the blessings that I've gotten so far. So
what would you say was the biggest lesson once you obtained all those hurdles? 4 different streams of income, 4 different like ways of working.
I'm learning right now.
How'd you get your groove? I feel like
control your emotions, be on time, be professional. Yeah. That goes without saying. Do
you have a mentor?
Not necessarily a mentor, but I do. My manager, he's really, really wise. And I've been learning so much from him. His name is Neiman Johnson.
When did y'all get together?
We've been working together for like a little over a year now. Shout out to Off Top.
Off Top, shout out. So y'all been grinding together for the past year.
Yes.
He's really helped you kind of amplify what you've been wanting to do as well.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, I saw what he did like with Eric Bellinger, who's like one of his like his family, his best friend. And I was like, yo, I want to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and Eric's super inspiring to me as well. Oh, yeah. So I was just like, if I could even like obtain that amount of success in my life and freedom as an artist, as an independent artist, you know what I mean? He's independent.
I never knew that.
Getting his own. All the money come in, don't nothing go out. I'm just saying. You feel me? Like if I can get that, you know what I'm saying? Then like, it's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream come true to just be able to take care of your family, take care of yourself, off of your gifts. You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing. It's a big, big thing. You know.
What's been one of the biggest blessings now? Actually starting to profit from your dreams.
Doing stuff like this. Doing stuff like this, meeting new people, and people ask me to come and speak and share my story. That's what it's about. Like, if you're not connecting with other people, sharing your story, then it's like a waste. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
what's some of the other advice you would give to aspiring songwriters too who want to break it into industry?
Keep writing. Keep practicing. Every day, man. Every day, keep writing, keep practicing. I got some songs that were like trash bucket. Like, they was bad, but like I got better because I kept on like, you know, pursuing my dream, and I kept like practicing. So I would say like for like songwriters, yeah, I would just say like keep writing, stay inspired, go live a little, go do something, go get in a relationship, go get your heart broken. You might break that song, you might write that song that, you know what I'm saying, that unbreak my heart, that one that gets you that quadruple platinum, you know what I'm saying, plaque.
Never
like,
know.
Yeah, like go have fun and go write about it.
And how do you feel about working horizontally as well in the industry, working with your peers? Do you always collaborate?
I do. I would say I collaborate mostly with producers. A lot of times it's crazy because like when you first start out, you writing by yourself because you knew. Yeah. It ain't like Neo calling you. It ain't like Diane Warren calling you. You know what I'm saying? Or like Star or whoever. You know, these big writers are not necessarily calling you. No shade to them or anything like that, but they got their own stuff going on. You know what I mean? So you learn to like become a 100%er, meaning you can write an entire song by yourself. So that's what I learned. I learned how to like really write a song by myself, get in the studio and engineer myself, get in the studio and learn what my mix sounds like, learn, you know what I'm saying, like my vocal template, and rearrange and produce myself. And so now that I'm getting placements, everybody's like, yo, let's get in the studio. Yo, I want to work with you. And I'm like, yeah, but I do it all myself.
This is all me.
It's all me. Like I didn't learn to, swim. I
didn't learn how to hustle.
I didn't learn how to hustle. But but it's still good to like, because iron sharpens iron. So you want to like still work with like-minded people and get together. So I don't ever just be like, nah, back then you didn't want me. Like I don't ever be like that. I be like, shit, you want to work? All right, cool.
Okay,
come on.
We could do a little something.
Yeah. And sometimes you're not ready for it either.
That's real. But I feel like you learning all those tools for songwriting, you became truly an artist. So stepping into a solo career of you now being on the front end of the spectrum, how is that? Well, good for it.
Yes.
Can we play that real quick?
Yeah, let's play good for it.
So they can feel it, they can know.
This is Good For It, produced by Go Grizz, featuring the homie 24 Hours.
24